What that means that you have to face from an offensive perspective as D'Angelo Amos is back to receive the opening kickoff today. Nathan Fondacaro will kick it away for the Wildcats, and it's picked up at the 10-yard line. We've got a bit of a seam to the 30. He's up to the 40, spins around, and that is Brandon Polk with a great return. Wonderful field position for the Dukes of James Madison. Owen Thomas eventually brings him down.
Brandon Polk setting up this JMU offense with good field position.
So the Dukes will have it at their own 47-yard line. And on comes the offense for James Madison. And Ben DiNucci, redshirt senior from Wexford, Pennsylvania, second year with the program, transferring in from Pitt. And he is, most people I've talked to recently, they've been very pleased with his decision making. He's going to decide to hand it off to Solomon Van Horst, and the redshirt freshman out of Georgia gets it nearly to the 50-yard line on the initial play from scrimmage this afternoon. And let's take a look at the starting offense for the Dukes of James Madison. It's presented to you by Toyota. And it is Van Horst, Jake Brown, Brandon Polk. We've already seen him. Riley Stapleton making his presence felt for the Dukes. Here is DiNucci. Looks like he wants to throw. And now he's going to find Brandon Polk for a modest gain. But it's pretty close. It's going to set up a third down and short situation. The Dukes on third down conversions this year, top of the CA charts at 56%. Meanwhile, Villanova, third in the CA in defensive conversions, allowing only 33%. So, Dorian, something's got to give there.
Right, you're going to look at Villanova. They're going to look to limit this JMU offense and make them one-dimensional.
There's the handoff, and it is Percy Ajay Obasay who gets free, and he just is tripped up as he goes across the 30 down to the 29-yard line. So Percy Ajay Obasay with his first carry of the day. Let's take a look at it again.
And this is what this team is all about. You know, Coach Cignetti wants this team to, dominate the line of scrimmage, and great play by the running back, just fighting for those extra yards and setting them up for the first down.
So we haven't even seen Juwan Hamilton yet as Percy back there again, and this is not uncommon. Here's a flare out to Brown. Brown just scraps for a couple of yards as he drops it inside the 25. And here's the defensive alignment for the Villanova Wildcats. Again, that odd man front. And from an offensive lineman standpoint, what does that mean, Dorian?
Well, the 3-3-5 stack or the 3-3 stack is the defense is put to try to confuse the offensive line and confuse the offense. It also allows Villanova to run a lot of their blitz packages, which is what they've shown so far this season.
All right, they'll shift Van Horst to the right side of DiNucci. DiNucci hands it off. No, he's going to keep it himself, and he is wrapped up. He did not fool anybody that time. Maybe even a half of loss of yard on the play is Forrest Rhine. Again, out of Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, he comes up with a tackle. So the Dukes will face with a third and we'll say 9 as the ball back at the 26-yard line at JMU. We may see our first true passing situation for Ben DiNucci. Third down, DiNucci pointing out a few to block. Here they all come, and DiNucci right up the middle as they read it perfectly. There's DiNucci to the 10, and he's going to dive forward up to the 6-yard line. A tremendous call by the JMU offensive coordinator, Shane Montgomery.
So one of the advantages of the 3-3 stack defense is that you can try to throw off the offense, but when you have a sound offensive line, you can really get exposed when you leave that many openings. You're going to see Villanova, blitz, almost every gap. Good play by the quarterback to keep it.
DiNucci, 80 yards rushing last weekend, in addition to his 218 yards through the air. So the Dukes are in the red zone very early on their opening drive. Again, Brandon Polk's career-long return set it up. Here is Ajay Obasay, and he's going to fight forward, stands up at the 5-yard line, and you can be certain that the Dukes work very tough on ball security after what happened last week. I do want to give a little credit, though, to Stony Brook. They're known for stripping the football away.
Absolutely. You got a top, opponent in the CAA. Every week is going to be hard-fought games. And so, Kurt Cignetti really worked with the players this week on making sure you keep both hands on the football. We can't give that up. It's too risky.
Second down and goal from the 5. Percy Ajay Obase gets it again. He's going to leap in. It stays on his feet, and he looked like he was about to spring forward, and somebody had him wrapped up around the legs in that pile, and that's going to set up a 3rd and short for James Madison. 3rd and short to go, goal to go on top of all that.
If I'm JMU, I'm going to continue to establish the run game. You know, this game is going to be decided on who wins at the line of scrimmage. Is my offensive line better than your defensive line? We'll see.
Ryan again, the tackler, 3rd and goal. He's going to pass it. DiNucci, he's got a man open. It's a touchdown. Riley Stapleton with the catch. They use his height to their advantage, and the Dukes are on the board first today as DiNucci finds Stapleton at the back of the end zone.
You know, Kurt, when you have a 6'5" wide receiver, you know, that's going to be a good matchup anytime when you're in the end zone. When you got one-on-one man coverage, Riley Stapleton, you're going to see him here do a good job of catching the ball at the highest point. You know, that's going to be a tough matchup anytime.
DiNucci with his 9th touchdown toss this year, the 25th in his James Madison career. Ethan Ratke will come in to attempt the extra point. As Stapleton gets the touchdown, his first of the season, and Ratke into the good hands by All-State Netting, and the Dukes out in front quickly. They lead it on the opening drive, 7-0 Dukes over the Villanova Wildcats. As you're watching JMU football from Learfield IMG College. And welcome back. The Dukes out in front, 7-0. Camden Wise will kick off for the Dukes of James Madison. Received inside the 10. Coming to the outside, a little bit of breathing room, and it's up to the 28-yard line for the Wildcats of Villanova. Q Reed in on the stop for James Madison. And that scoring drive summary for the Dukes, we'll get that for you here in just a moment as well, as MJ Hampton out there on special teams for the Dukes. All right, coming out is Daniel Smith. He is a Virginia native from up in Leesburg, went to Tuscarora High School. He is a transfer, FCS transfer though, as he came in from Campbell, which is down in Bowie's Creek, North Carolina. And you see he's got the naked backfield. Now he's going to bring the running back up to him. And he is met, and boy, he just plows right on through, and a good initial run for the Wildcats. Adam Smith comes up and makes the tackle. And let's take a look at that offensive alignment for Villanova. Now, the one thing, actually, you see Justin Covington, he is a scratch today. He leads the CAA with 121 yards rushing on the year per game, which is among the national leaders as well, but he is not available. He went out in the second quarter against William & Mary last weekend as Daniel Smith keeps the football himself this time. He is dropped down. Dimitri Holloway helps him out as Adib Atari was also there. And here's the defense for the Dukes of James Madison. And the Dukes scoring on the opening drive. Villanova with its first handling of the football. Dilwee Barley is in the backfield. He's going to flare out. Here's the pass to an open receiver, and he gets it right to midfield. And that is Chang Hodge, a junior from East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, East Stroudsburg South, as he just does get it inside James Madison territory at the 48. All right, the keys to the game brought to you by Cross Keys Vineyard for Villanova. Stop the run. Give Smith time to maneuver in the back, and I think if they get balanced on offense, that can give the Dukes some problems today.
Yeah, Daniel Smith is a real heady player, and so you're going to see him, stretch the ball out.
This time he throws a bullet, and it is caught by Jerron Hayek, a freshman who is very impressive out of Wayne, New Jersey, as the Wildcats, they're moving right on down the field. Tackled by Wayne Davis, the spur position out of Lake Taylor High School and the transfer from Ohio State. Herrick with his 22nd reception of the season. He came in with 5 touchdowns and over 300 yards in receiving. Smith looks to the right, throws, that nearly knocked away by Davis, but it is completed on the far side, and the Wildcats getting big chunks. Let's take a look at it again. It's Hayek again. Adam Smith does track him down. but not before he gets inside the red zone for the Villanova Wildcats.
Villanova has two brand new coordinators on offense and defense, and Chris Bowden, you can see already they're trying to mix it up. You know, JMU wants to make this Villanova offense one-dimensional. Villanova showing early that they can, you know, run the ball effectively and throw it.
In the red zone, Villanova very effective. 22 out of 24 times they have scored, 92%. The lofted pass, it is a little too strong, incomplete, so second down. Again, the ball spotted back at the 15-yard line. It was Hayek, the intended receiver. Wayne Davis back on the coverage. Here's Mark Ferrante, the head coach of the Villanova Wildcats. And there's his quarterback, Daniel Smith.
Yep, Smith just got a little bit too much. You know, actually had the receiver open in the end zone. Just put a little too much air on it.
Smith, 101 completions, 176 attempts this year for over 1,200 yards passing, 17 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Here's the handoff to TD Ayo-Duro-Jaye. That's right, TD Ayo-Duro-Jaye. And he's tackled by Dimitri Holloway.
Don't think that this Villanova offense is going to slow down with the loss of their starting running back. They have 3 good backs that can, you know, get a lot of production on the offense in the run game.
They're facing a third down, which they are 52% conversion rate on third downs. The Dukes, however, number 1 in the CAA, stopping them 25% of the time. Smith floats it a little too long again, so it's fourth down. And Smith took a pop that time as well as Mike Green got into the backfield. Let's take a look at that again. Watch Green work his way through.
Mike Green coming off of a tremendous performance last week. It's not often, Kurt, that you have defensive tackles that make 9 tackles in the game. You know, had a forced fumble, sack. He's really stepping up, you know, and he uses his size and lateral quickness to get pressure on Daniel Smith.
All right, here comes the field goal try for the Wildcats from the 21, make it a 31, and it is blocked. D'Angelo Amos blocked the football, picked up by Rashard Robinson, and the Dukes, they've got the football at their own 38-yard line. It was D'Angelo Amos, known for his punt returns, who streaks through and makes the big block.
Rashard Robinson, you know, he's a little banged up last week, but he comes out and shows he's a true playmaker along with Amos. That's what you're going to need from your junior and senior leaders. Great play, huge momentum swing early in this ball game.
That's almost like a takeaway. I mean, that's a momentum change, a sudden change, as the Wildcats did move down the field pretty well. In fact, they ended up with 58 yards. The Dukes only needed to go 53, 53 that is for theirs. And here is DiNucci back to pass. Plenty of time, and now it opens up. DiNucci on the run. He eludes a tackler, slides down wisely as he gets the first down. They might measure him just a little shy, but Drew Wiley, a senior, comes up to stop him. They say move the chain, so the Dukes do pick up a Ergy's cheesesteak first down. Keys for the Dukes here, avoid the big plays. Villanova has 43 plays over 20 yards halfway through the season. And here is Juwan Hamilton, his first carry. Little tough sledding there. So you've got to avoid those big plays, of course.
You know, Kurt, I'm going to add another key to that game, and it's going to dominate the line of scrimmage. You know, I'm an offensive lineman by heart, so I'm going to be a little biased, but
sure,
the offensive line, you know, has to win on offense, and I think that they'll, you know, be successful.
They pass out here. It is Stapleton, the other Stapleton, as Dillon, the tight end, comes up with the catch. Darryl McDaniel eventually tracks him down, and the Dukes move the chains again. So they're moving it against this 3-man front are the Dukes. For Dillon, that is his 29th reception in his career, his 10th here in 2019. He's slotted to the left side, and the pass is dropped. He had to come back to it. Now, I'm not quite sure that's what they wanted to do. Things looked a little, not sure. You had Polk out there and Jake Brown. That just did not work for the Dukes. So a 2nd and 10. Isaac Walker was in the neighborhood for the Villanova Wildcats. Waxter. Beg your pardon, Mr. Walker. It's Waxter. Single man in motion is Kendall Dean. They hand it off, a little zone here to this side, and Juwan Hamilton gets met sternly as he picks up just a couple. Again, Forrest Rhine making the tackle. 6'1", 220-pounder. Also has 8 tackles for loss in his career and 4.5 sacks. So he is a mobile linebacker.
Forrest Rhine, a tackling machine in and of itself. We've called his name quite a bit so far early on in this game.
Dukes are 3 for 3 early in the third down conversion category, and they've got an opportunity here, but it is 3rd and long, about 8. Polk will come up a little tighter. And here goes DiNucci, runs into some trouble, and he is down, sacked, as that play did not develop as well. Sometimes it is definitely going to work for the Villanova Wildcats when they bring all the bodies, Michael Taylor and Rhine, getting into the backfield. So we will see Harry come in to punt away for the Dukes of James Madison. Harry from down under in Australia. O'Kelly is a weapon in him to his own right. And O'Kelly, and fair catch is called for and received at the 10-yard line. Well, the Dukes, they scored on their first drive. Villanova has its first possession end in a blocked field goal attempt. We're 7-0 James Madison here in the first quarter of play. This is JMU football from Learfield IMG College. 4:20 to go in the quarter. Well, we knew last week it was going to be a Donnybrook, and the Dukes won at Stony Brook, but I didn't expect it to be this high scoring, although the defense has helped to set the tone a little bit with some early short field position. But this is the overtime touchdown run by Juwan Hamilton. What I was relieved by, Dorian, in that case was that it only took the Dukes 3 plays to punch it in for that touchdown. And the Seawolves with the chance to actually tie it up, but the pass was dropped, so the Dukes survive and go 3-0 on their road stretch. And Dorian, I checked the last time. Look at that defensive play for the Dukes getting into the backfield. It is John Daka, the defensive end from the right side, wrestles him down for a loss of 1. The last time JMU played 3 consecutive road games during the regular season, you were 7 years old, did you tell me?
Yeah, you're showing my age a little bit, but that's all right. 1994.
1994. So 3 consecutive road games. Now, they did play 3 consecutive road games in 2011, but that also included 2 playoff games, including the loss to North Dakota State. Little jump out. Here's to the tight end. That is Summers. He sheds the tackle. He's up the sideline. He's bumped out of bounds. D'Angelo Amos gets to him.
Todd Summers, number 86, a junior, 6'5", 245 pounds. He's a big target. The thing about Daniel Smith that, the coaches really show on the tape is that he's a very heady player, makes good decisions. He can also has some good running ability as well, and so you're going to have to watch out for that.
For Summers, that's his 18th reception of the year. And he is definitely a target. Again, as we start the second season, per se, second half of the season, and hit is Smith as he releases it. And he may get banged up a bit. We do have a flag down that's here on the near side, and let's see if we can pick up our referee today. It is incomplete.
Illegal formation, 5 in the backfield, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So an illegal formation, 5 men in the backfield, and we'll see it again. Watch the hit that even though this was not a play, he'll remember it.
Absolutely, and if you're a defensive end, defensive lineman, you want that opposing quarterback to feel your presence. And so, if you're John Daka, even though dead ball play, doesn't matter. It's effective.
First down and 15 after the illegal formation. They fake the handoff, now dumped up over the middle. That again is the tight end taken off his feet by D'Angelo Amos as Summers makes his second catch on this series. He picks up 6 yards on the play, 2nd down and 9.
this JMU defense has been extremely well against running offenses, and so what you're seeing Villanova doing right now is trying to stretch the field. You know, the first couple plays, they lined up in empty back formations. You know, they're running a lot of crossing routes, trying to get these linebackers for the Dukes who can run sideline to sideline. You know, you saw Amos make a really good play there.
Make it backfield again. It is Smith, airs it out, and it is incomplete. D'Angelo Amos, and he will get a flag. This might not be a good one against the Dukes. Already thin in the secondary. And was this, my concern, was this a targeting? Was he couldn't defend himself in this situation?
You know, Kurt,
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness with targeting. Defense number 24. A 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. The previous play is under further review.
They will review it, however, Dorian.
Yeah, Kurt, we're going to get a look at it. From up here, it didn't look like Amos made contact with helmet to helmet. And so is his forearm made contact? Let's see what the refs.
Yep, so we will see. And again, if that's the case, that again creates an issue in the back on the back end of that secondary. D'Angelo's already had an impact in this game. And the fans reacting to it as it's on the video board here, the JMU.
And look, we understand player safety is of the utmost importance, and so I understand why they're going to make the call. But, you know, I think after taking a second look at it, you know, we might have a different opinion.
Jeff Knight is the referee today. Corey Williams Sr., the umpire. Head linesman is Steve Singleton. Daniel Dornermeyer is the line judge. Field judge Brian Campbell. Brian Fortier is the side judge. The back judge Ronald B. Roberts Jr. Tom Beck is the replay official, and the communicator Brian Thomas, as they've shown it again on the Jumbotron. And that's not to the liking of the family weekend crowd. You know, and oftentimes, Mickey Matthews, whom you played for here at JMU, he would call the family weekend the golf crowd because they would golf clap. They wouldn't get into it as much, but I think that this crowd is into this one pretty good here
today. The ruling on the field is confirmed. Number 24 is disqualified.
So it is confirmed. So Amos, and you see Coach Kurt Signetti and his reaction. And so what will the Dukes do here? So you have to, we'll show it one more time here. And I think they're saying even though it wasn't helmet to helmet, it was he defenseless in that situation?
Well, I'm certainly not a referee, but I'm assuming they're looking at that last ditch, contact that he made with them. However, huge loss for the Dukes.
So D'Angelo Amos being escorted to the locker room, and here comes a flag as the ball carrier that time was Ayodu Rojaye.
Holding. Offense
but
number 65.
Holding against the Villanova
10-yard
Wildcats.
Penalty. First down.
So Amos is going to the JMU locker room in the Athletics Performance Center.
We've already seen Amos's, impact early on this defense, but also in special teams. And so, this is going to have to make, the Dukes are going to have to make some real adjustments.
MJ Hampton, a junior out of Fredericksburg, Virginia, went to Stafford, so he's there in place of Amos. They will rotate through a bit, but now you're looking at much of this game as we still have 2 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Smith has got two receivers to this side, two to the upper side. Smith is going to take it on his own. He breaks a tackle, and he is knocked off his feet. This time is Torres Carroll. Now, here's one of the impacts of Amos being gone, too. Last year, he tied the JMU record with two punt returns for touchdowns against Villanova, a big special teams player for the Dukes. This is one of his two last year in the Dukes' 37-0 win in Villanova, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, again, you can't say enough about his impact on this team. He's All-American for a reason, but it's next man up mentality. You're going to have to step up to the plate against a good offense.
Again, plenty of receivers in the pattern. Here comes a blitz this side, and Smith saw it. He released it to his tight end, but coming up to make the tackle for James Madison is Dimitri Holloway. So they kind of baited that one, it looked like.
Absolutely. You know, Daniel Smith as a quarterback, sometimes you're going to throw right into the blitz. The problem is you got a fast linebacker in Holloway that's able to cover the field. Good play by him.
Holloway with over 50 tackles on the season. In fact, came into today's contest with 50. Again, this is a Villanova team that is a big play team. 25 plays of 20 to 29 yards, 8 over 30, so you got to keep an eye on them. And they're going deep this time, and this is caught, and it is good enough for the first down. Again, Jaron Hayek making the catch, and Wayne Davis making the tackle. As we look at that continuing on, they have 4 plays 40 or greater and 8 plays of 50 yards plus. That's just breaking it down in that Villanova can go down the field in a hurry. And they do pick up that first down. And that's the end of the first quarter of play. It's only 7-0 James Madison, but boy, a lot went on in the first 15 minutes of this contest. We'll take it to a timeout. We'll come back with quarter number 2 as Learfield IMG College and JMU Athletics provide you this coverage of JMU football. Family weekend crowd here at Bridgeport Stadium. I'm Kurt Dudley along with Dorian Brooks. Delighted to have you with us here on this Saturday. A little bit of sunshine trying to peek its way through. 7-0 James Madison. The Dukes in the first quarter. As Barley. The Tribe title this weekend. Adiba Tarua gets the tackle for the Dukes. The Tribe next weekend host these Dukes at 3:30 at Zabel Stadium.
I'm looking to see how this defense is going to answer with the loss of Amos.
Play action pass this time, going deep. He's got a man open. It is caught, and it is a touchdown. Charles Tutt could not keep up with Changa Hodge, the 6'1" junior, with his 4th touchdown of the season, the 6th of his career, and there you go, another big play for Villanova this season.
Right, the secondary, is going to have to step up with the loss of their safety. But, Coach Signetti said, speaking with him last week, you got to control the controllables. And again, how do you respond, when you get knocked down?
Extra point to follow. And it is good for the Wildcats. So a quick strike for Villanova. As we start the second quarter, Villanova puts it into the end zone. For over 34 years, the Better Water guys at Waterworks have been making Shenandoah Valley and Winchester water clean, clear, and pure. 7-7 our score early in the second quarter. And the ensuing kickoff, it is Brandon Polk as he dances around a couple over to the 25 and is down at the 26-yard line. 27, we'll call it. Elijah Solomon eventually brings down the Penn State transfer. Polk having a impactful year with the Dukes of James Madison. He played pretty regularly with the Nittany Lions. His 7th game, 25 receptions coming in for Brandon. He is split here to the near side. At their own 27-yard line are the Dukes. DiNucci with the lone back. That's Van Horst. Takes it right up the middle. Powerful run as he takes it to the 30-yard line. Solomon at 5'7", 177 pounds from Alpharetta, Georgia, Milton High School. That last scoring drive summary for Villanova, we'll give that to you in just a moment, as DiNucci going to try to pass, and he is sacked for the 2nd time today. As Wiley works his way through. Here's the scoring drive summary for the Wildcats at the end of the quarter. 8 plays, 90 yards, 4 minutes, 56 seconds. Third down and 13.
Villanova looking to bring some pressure, try to confuse this JMU offense.
Dukes have 4 receivers in the pattern and a man back to block, and that is a beautiful catch over the shoulder. Jake Brown with the reception for the Dukes. Jake Brown, who was actually headed to Hampton, Sydney, till he got a call from the Dukes coaching staff.
So Villanova tries to bring pressure on the Dukes. Good offensive line protection on that. Great throw, great catch.
Jake Brown hauls it in for a 22-yard gain. And Dukes go right back to the line of scrimmage. Going to float it up again. This is Polk. Polk making an adjustment. He drops the football. He had it in one hand. Couldn't pull it in as he ends up on the Zane Shoker Field lettering. The Dukes going for it again, dipping to the well as Waxter is on the coverage. Let's see it again, Dorian.
Polk does a good job of getting separation. You know, DiNucci throws it up there where really no one else can get it. The defender somehow is able to slap the hand in there and poke the ball out.
Solomon Van Horst moves to the right of DiNucci. DiNucci, quick drop, gets it out to Solomon. He's got some space, sprinting to the 50, to the 45, down to the 40, whirled out of bounds. First down, James Madison University. Oapeptu comes up with a tackle. And a first down for the Dukes. And that puts them over 100 yards of total offense. By the way, Villanova with its scoring drive of 90 yards, up to 148 for the ball game against the Dukes defense. First and 10 at the 39. DiNucci looks like he is going to change the play for James Madison. 2 receivers here to the near side. In motion is Ravenel. He's going to pass wide open and dropped by Solomon Van Horst.
Kurt, I think Van Horst would have still been running had he caught that. Great play design by the offense. Man, he's going to want that one back.
And it didn't look like he was looking upfield too soon. I think he just lost concentration, just lost the handle. Second and 10, back again at the 39-yard line. Power to the left with Stapleton there. Faking the handoff, floating it up, and breaking the pattern off Devin Ravenel. I think he was expected to go to the outside, and he cut it to the inside.
Yeah, that's one of the things that you want to avoid are, missed assignments and mental errors. Coaches aren't going to be too happy looking at that from the sidelines. They might have had one.
Dorian. Devin out of Stafford, Virginia. Third down and 10. An illegal procedure.
False start.
False
Offense
start.
number 10. 5-yard
For the
penalty.
Dukes. Stapleton tried to get a jump on things. Instead, he's going to put his team behind the sticks by 5 yards. All right, Dukes will switch out here. There's Stapleton. Here's DiNucci under some trouble, gets it off to Van Horst. Solomon breaks the tackle, sprints to the marker, and there is a tough play. The fans want a clothesline on that one. Daryl McDaniel gets him a first down for the Dukes, however.
Dukes with a good screen, halfback screen. Van Horst, you can't arm tackle him, though someone just tried to clothesline him there.
First down for the Dukes at the 29. He just does pick up 10. Sticks the ball into the belly of Percy Ajay Obase, who gains 4 yards on the carry. All right, let's take a look at what we've got thus far. Here's A big pass for a touchdown for Riley Stapleton. The blocked field goal try. D'Angelo Amos recovered Rashad Robinson. And then there is the hit that brings out Amos. Back to the action. DiNucci scrambling, had Stapleton, but he was really trying to make a schoolyard play out of that.
Yeah, DiNucci good with his legs there. You know, when you got pressure on you, sometimes you're not able to get your both feet set. You know, that was the result of that.
Townsell there putting some pressure on. Percy J. Obase in the backfield with DiNucci. Polk is here to the near side. They send back in Ravenel. He's in the slot. And Kendall Dean up on the top side for James Madison. A power to the right with Dylan Stapleton. They're looking at that alignment. You can see the 3-down lineman. Now the Villanova front line is going to adjust a bit, and the Dukes may want to counter with it, and it's timeout on the field.
First charge timeout, James Madison.
And the timeout charged against the Dukes of James Madison, a 30-second timeout. As we are tied at 7-7.
Correction, full timeout on the field.
Tell you what, we're going to take a full timeout as well. Take care of some business, as it is a 7-7 score. And you're watching JMU football and the Villanova Wildcats from Learfield IMG College. Back in a moment. Well, we missed a play. Sorry about that, folks, but the Dukes picked up a first down, a reception by Riley Stapleton. The Dukes are 6 out of 7 on third down conversions, and that puts the ball at the 11. They're 3 for 3 on third downs in this drive. Polk will go in motion. They hand off. Percy J. Obase tiptoes his way through. Gets bent back after he gains about 4 on the play. All right, we're going to go back and show you the play that we were still in break when the Dukes fired it off. And there's the reception for Riley Stapleton to the 11. And Dorian will give you a chance. Dorian made some observation about what Villanova is doing defensively here, at least recently. But let's get this play in first. Dukes will stack it to the right. Balanced line. Here is Ajay Obase. And he has stood up at the 6 and driven back there. Dorian, what were you seeing?
Right, so naturally, you know, JMU being a run-dominant team, you know, if I'm defensive coordinator Ola Adams for the Wildcats, you're going to make adjustments. They come out in a 3-3-5 stack defense, but they are going to adjust to a 4-down front. And so the Dukes came out early in the drive, you know, 1 back, 2 tight end personnel or you know, 22 personnel, 2 backs. Then they're going to naturally have to try to make adjustments to stop the run.
All right, so Dukes with a third down. They can get a first down. The ball spotted just shy of the 5-yard line, and we got a timeout. This time it's called by Villanova.
First charge timeout.
And that's
Villanova.
The first charge timeout against the Wildcats, as the Dukes are faced with a third down and 4, but they are 5 yards away from getting into the end zone a second time today. Well, it's interesting, Dorian. Last week at this time, you had a lot of points on the board against 2 very strong defenses. Today, we kind of bill this as a high-octane game, and we're tied at 7-7.
Right, you have 2 teams averaging, you know, right around or nearly 40 points a game. You'd expect that, but this has really been a game of you know, momentum swings and block punts or field goals, rather, you know, that can really have an impact early on. We're just going to see how both of these clubs, you know, bounce back.
All right, these 2 teams met here 2 years ago on College Game Day, the last of the 2 times that College Game Day was here, and you see that going back to the previous year. Get back here, get back here, get back here now. And back to the action as the Dukes set up third down and 4. DiNucci snaps, throws, Stapleton. Touchdown! Stapleton with his second touchdown reception of the day, and again his size comes into play.
Right, Riley Stapleton, 6'5". You know, he's going up against Isis Walker from Villanova. When you have that one-on-one, you know, jump ball matchup, you know, I'm going to bet on the 6'5" guy most times than not.
And look what he did. He kind of sealed off that corner. I mean, DiNucci put it behind the cone, but right there in that corner and the big frame, he just cast a shadow on his receiver, on his defensive back there, and he comes up with the catch. So Ethan Radke will attempt the extra point for the James Madison Dukes. Kyle Davis, the long snapper. Alex Miller out of Robinson High School. The kick is through there. DiNucci with his second touchdown pass. Stapleton with his second touchdown reception. And Radke with a second point after. It's a 14-7 James Madison lead. 9:19 to play. JMU football from Learfield IMG College. Here's a scoring drive summary for the Dukes. 14 plays, that is, beg your pardon. 73 yards, 457. Again, it's DiNucci to Stapleton. DiNucci now tied for 8th all time on the touchdown receptions chart, or touchdown passes chart, that is, with 27. Here's the kickoff back to the 8-yard line. And the sideline, tiptoeing down that sideline, is Boykin. And he finds his way just a little bit of a seam up to the 28-yard line.
Finally got a little bit of sun out.
Yeah, that's kind of nice here on family weekend. I was concerned that some of the family members might say, not today, but they've come out in good numbers today. This is the third of 6 home games for the Dukes. On the road next week at William & Mary, and then back home for homecoming on October 26th against Towson's Tigers. Taking the pass, a little dump off here again. They're using that tight end with regularity. All right, so Dorian, you see this tight end continuing to stay in the mix. Dimitri Holloway tracks him down. If you're looking for high-quality periodontal treatment, look no further. Shenandoah Valley Implant Institute has some of the most highly trained professionals in the area.
Villanova looking to, try to find some weaknesses in this JMU defense.
There's a handoff, but nothing doing there as John Daka leads the way. Also coming off the edge, that looked like Hampton. Did he get back there too for the Dukes? He did.
You got a ton of penetration right up the middle. The left guard tries to, reach block, and the D tackle said, "No, sir, it's not happening."
Third down and 4 at the 34. They'll stack the receivers to both sides. Smith back to pass, airs it out, and it is dropped. Hayak this time could not hang on to it. And on the coverage was Torres Carroll out of Fredericksburg, Virginia. And Villanova saying there's a little holding on the opposite side. Hayak is pretty sure-handed, at least if you look at what he's done statistically this year. You can count on that.
Yeah, you got to feel pretty good if you're a defensive back for the Dukes to see,
Jack Schroba will go back. Again, D'Angelo Amos ejected in the first quarter for targeting. So Schroba will return the punt for the Dukes. He'll be a punt catcher, makes the catch, and he comes up with no gain on the play. As Des Boykin, who had the kick return, is there on special teams once again. Timeout on the field, 7:51 to play in the first half. We'll be back with more of James Madison University Dukes football on this family weekend from Learfield, IMG College, and JMU Athletics. Villanova on defense. The Dukes, here's DiNucci, and they hand it off to Juwan Hamilton, who comes back across the green after nearly getting thrown for a loss. Jared Nelson, a sophomore from Glastonbury, Connecticut, making the tackle. Only gains 1. Looking for Juwan Hamilton to cut one loose here.
Yeah, Juwan Hamilton is on a hot start so far these past 3 games, and so, he's hoping to pick up from where he left off last week.
Dukes are going to change the play at the line of scrimmage. Again, 2 here to the far side, which is the open side of the field. Now the receiver up top as well. 3-step drop, and over the middle is Stapleton, that's Dylan Stapleton, certainly could make the catch. I'm not sure how much more he would have gotten after it, but the Dukes would probably end up with about a 3rd and maybe 6. Instead, they're faced with a 3rd and 9. DiNucci, by the way, his last touchdown pass, let me correct, I think I said that in error, 26th in his JMU career, tied for 8th with Michael Birdsong. And the 4th time that Stapleton has had 2 scores in a single game. Dukes faced with a 3rd down situation here with 7:11 to go in the half. Leading it, there's the snap. I'm not sure if the snap was supposed to come off or not. Here's the throw. That looked like a mistimed play, Dorian.
Yeah, it's going to be a bad, QB center exchange, and then also the Wildcats brought more than the Dukes had to block, and so, good job by the Wildcats defense for putting pressure.
Harry O'Kelly will punt once again for James Madison. As Harry stands back at his 8-yard line. Josh McGee, or McGrigg that is, beg your pardon, out of Alexandria, Virginia, Mount Vernon. Fair catch by McGrigg. And Villanova will take over at its own 34-yard line. We have a player down on the far side. It's a JMU player as training staff will hustle across all the way to the other side. And that is JMU's number 35, Willie Drew. He is a redshirt freshman, another cornerback. He's out of Smithfield, Virginia, Smithfield High School. Kurt Signetti about to make his way to that side also. So Drew being tended to. Well, a couple of guys we haven't talked a heck of a lot about because they're really avoiding them today is that the defensive tackles inside there for the Dukes, Adiba Tarawa and Mike Green, they have been a wrecking force inside, and they're coming up. I think you mentioned earlier when you see a defensive tackle with as many tackles as he has in an individual game, that's a rare number. And those two have been very good. And even if they're not making the play, making the tackle, they're influencing the play oftentimes.
That's right. They do a great job of getting penetration up the field. And again, you have a defensive lineman putting up linebacker numbers. That's going to be very impressive. And, I know this Kurt Signetti team is, likes what they're seeing out of those two.
That's Willie Drew getting escorted off the field. Now, this is a tremendous series throughout the years. The Dukes have won the last 4 and lead the series 16-11. Let's go back to when you were playing. Remember this one, Dorian? The Hail Mary.
Unreal play. I'll never forget this moment. This ball went off of Bosco Williams' helmet as well. Never forget it.
He makes the catch, and the Dukes won that one at Villanova. Villanova with a rush and a gain of 6 yards on the play. Dimitri Holloway with the tackle. Let's take a look at it again. This time the ball carrier is C.J. Jackson, a freshman from Richmond. Excuse me, that's the Dukes. Wrong side of my flip card. That's DeWill Barley from Upper Darby, Pennsylvania. Getting rid of it in a hurry, and it's caught. Again, that's Hodge. Hodge with a touchdown catch earlier today of 22 yards.
Villanova's looking to spread out the field and throw the ball. They haven't had a lot of success running the ball. I know they're missing Covington, but if you're the Dukes, you got to feel pretty good that you're making this team one-dimensional.
A screen, and that is read pretty good. The Dukes, that's Daka sniffing it out for James Madison defensively. Actually, the touchdown catch by Hodge was 43 yards, but he had a 77-yarder against Maine, which is their second longest play of the season. Second 2nd down and 11. Look at the marching Royal Dukes. .5:31 to go in the first half. The handoff, nothing doing. You said they're not running the ball very effectively, and the Dukes continue to show that. Rondell Carter called his name out this afternoon.
Yeah, the Dukes have 4 absolute studs up front. And so, if I'm Corey Heatherman right now, we're stopping the run. The one thing we haven't seen yet, how about a defensive turnover other than a blocked field goal?
On 3rd downs, the Wildcats are 1 out of 3. They haven't faced a lot of 3rd downs, quite obviously. The quarterback cranks it up down the line, and it is caught. Again, it is Hodge as it's lofted out there. Smith connecting with Hodge for another long pass play.
They're going to see good pickup by the Wildcats defense, and number 2 is just able to create separation from Robinson on the last one.
That sets it up 1st down and 10 inside red zone territory for the Villanova Wildcats down to the 18-yard line. They'll have 2 receivers and the tight end split to the right side, and they'll group a couple of receivers to the top, the short side of the field as well. Here's a man in motion. The handoff is to that ball carrier, and he is ripped down from behind. Got the jersey, did Rondell Carter, but he got him far enough down on the numbers, Dorian, that I think he was okay without the horse collar rule.
Yeah, again, this Wildcat offense, they haven't had a lot of success running, right up the gut, and so they're trying to, get this defense to move laterally. They might be running out of options with running it. They're having a lot of success throwing the ball.
Only 18 yards on the ground, but 179 through the air. On the move, he has to turn his shoulders. He throws, and that is incomplete. Torres Carroll is the man on the spot defensively for the Dukes.
Yeah, Carroll has really stepped up in this cornerback rotation. For a second there, it looked like Smith had his tight end wide open, but he was able to, pick up in the speed and cover it.
All right, Hodge has come back in. He's going to come to the short side of the field. And with that, he is going to join Rajon Pringle, a freshman wide receiver out of Hayfield High School up there in Dumfries, Virginia. Noise level goes up. Pass is incomplete as who was coming across but Hodge, and he may have been thinking about the end zone.
Yeah.
4th and 14.
Smith might have got the ball right behind him, but Holloway, even though he was beat behind him, he might have had the speed to catch up. Either way, you got to reel in that catch.
All right, so another field goal try by Villanova. Now, last week they went for a 4th and 2 when the game was tied because they didn't have a lot of confidence in their field goal unit. And Drew Kresge will try one. It doesn't look pretty, but it was effective. One of the ugliest field goals you'll see, but it counts for 3 no matter if it's a pig with lipstick or not. It's still going to count for 3.
Huge sigh by special teams coach Ross Pennypacker, I'm sure.
So that puts the Wildcats back on the board for a second time today. 14-10, James Madison. As Kresge, and Dukes nearly got to that one. Torres Carroll comes flying in that time. Let's go to that. 14-10, of course, the Dukes, they feel a little more comfortable with their field goal kicking.
And you have a kicker that's, all-time leading in points. You're going to rely on him all the time.
Yeah, Ethan Radke, of course. We have a feature on Ethan coming up. Had a chance to sit down. Interesting how he became a field goal kicker. There you go. 41 in his career. That is the record for James Madison. They just broke the record of John Corsi, Cameron Stark, David Rabel. Cameron came in at the end of your career there. And then Scott Norwood, of course, played in the NFL with the Buffalo Bills, played a few Super Bowls. We'll hear from Ethan at halftime. All right, here's the kickoff for the Dukes. It's to Polk. Nope, Polk will let it go out of the end zone. So no return. The Dukes begin this possession with 3:14 on the clock, and they'll start it at their own 25-yard line. Again, the next home game for the Dukes is 2 weeks away, and it is homecoming 2019. Towson in town. You can get a chance to actually see the JMU men's basketball Dukes before that. They're going to have a little exhibition scrimmage or purple gold game. I'll give you some information on that as we move along. And here are the Dukes with the football, and the toss goes to Polk. And he gains 4 on the play. Dukes have 2 timeouts remaining. Let's see, they may go to the hurry-up offense. Looks like they are. They're going to get right back to the line of scrimmage. Chucky Smith brings down Polk. Now as the Dukes get to the line of scrimmage, they'll make their play from there. Second down and about 6. DiNucci. He's going to scramble out. Now he'll throw. It's Dean, Kendall Dean, trying to come to the football. He's trying to make a big play down the field. Let's go back to 2004. This was the championship year for the Dukes. They played at Villanova in a hurricane. It was a hurricane. And the Dukes ended up winning that ball game 17-0. And of course, who knew at that time that the Dukes would go on to win the national championship in 2004. That was a 17-0 triumph. Second time, actually, Dukes shut them out last year in Villanova, 37-0. Swing pass out here to Juwan Hamilton. Hamilton, a satellite. He's got some space to work with. Stays on his feet up to the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Picks up the first down and more. Michael Taylor eventually wrestles him down out of Rockville Center, New York.
Juwan Hamilton is, he's an all-purpose back. He helps you in the kickoff return game, punt return game. Good off the backfield. And he can catch. And
here is Stapleton making the quick catch out here on the sideline. That preserves a timeout. The Dukes do have 2 timeouts to work with. 2:17 to go before the halftime. Waxter making the stop that time. A gain of 5. Second down and 5 at the JMU 46-yard line. Brandon Polk here to the near side. Hamilton is in the backfield. Hamilton wheels out. Now the throw over the middle. Nearly knocks the official down. The umpire gets out of the way. Good for him, as it's good enough for a first down as Brandon Polk makes the stop. Townsell making the tackle. There's the official that got out of the way. Back to the action. Dukes moving quickly. And the open receiver, it is caught. Trying to duck underneath is Jake Brown. The fans wanted a targeting call there. Darryl McDaniel. Particularly since D'Angelo Amos was ejected in the first quarter.
Right now, Ben DiNucci doing a great job of sitting in the pocket, trusting his protection.
He's got some rhythm working. Again, it's to the outside. The other Stapleton, Riley, makes the catch. And the Dukes marching right down the field. Riley has his 4th catch. In fact, he is spreading the wealth, is DiNucci. Brown with 3 receptions. Riley Stapleton 4. Brandon Polk 3. Van Horst 2. Dylan Stapleton 2, and he dropped 1. And they're going to the corner, just beyond the fingertips of Stapleton, was it? Yes. They were trying to go for the trifecta.
Yeah, I might have. If he would have made that catch, you got a lot of Dukes fans wishing they had Stapleton on their fantasy football.
3rd down and 3. Dukes are 8 out of 10 on 3rd down conversions. Van Horst is in the backfield. Part of the stable of backs the Dukes work with. timeout called, and Curt Cignetti is going to call for it here. They had a couple, so I don't know if there was confusion.
Second charge timeout, James Madison.
They were just
This will be a
seeing something
30-second
that they
timeout.
wanted to make sure. An important situation here as the Dukes leading at 14-10, but certainly would like to take advantage just on the outside of the red zone for the Dukes. Again, still plenty of time. Here's the last reception. Now, well, see, that kind of led in. I can see where the fans might have been a little disappointed. No call there. The one thing about the targeting, though, sometimes there are rules in place. It just happens. It just happens. It is not you're playing the game, and just by the confluence of circumstances, these things do occur. A lot of the helmet-to-helmet, that happens that way.
Right, you have players running 100 miles per hour, and you expect them to drop on a dime. It's going to be very difficult. You're making football actions, football plays. It's tough.
And that's frustrating for the players because they're just doing what they're taught, and some of that you might be able to negate. Here is Van Horst, and he comes up just shy of the first down. So this is interesting here as you're looking at the ball spotted at the 26-yard line. You drop it back 44-yard field goal. Malik Fisher makes the tackle, and so Radke will come in.
Yeah, I think at this point the Dukes are just trying to run down the clock a little bit. They don't want to give Villanova too much time to, make a push before halftime.
Radke, a 44-yard try, make it a 45-yard try. No, let's check that. 43-yard try. Radke, his career-long 46 a couple of years ago. That's something we'll see at halftime. Here's a good snap. Miller the hold. Does it have enough leg? It does. Yes, Ethan Radke, the king of the uprights here at Bridgeport Stadium, just adds another jewel to his crown. 42 career field goals for Ethan. I'm glad he made it. I didn't want to jinx him with our halftime piece.
I'll tell you what, as many field goals as he's made, they might have to throw the streamers the same way they do on touchdowns. He's put up a lot of points for this team.
That would cost a lot of streamers. You know that, don't you? Now, he is only a redshirt junior, too. So he's got a chance to just own it.
Yeah.
I mean, own it.
It'll make it very difficult for the next one to fill in.
So the Dukes, they get back the field goal. That was a little straighter. A little more conventional, I guess. And Radke moves up fourth all time in career points, 225. Camden Wise kicks it off for the Dukes. Receive by Boykin, and he is tackled there, Tucker Dorsey. And that was DeMonte Tucker Dorsey on the tackle. 10 plays, 49 yards, 2:35 is the time off the clock. Any points are good points.
Hey, well, they'll take it. And if I'm JMU, the defense, you want to close out the half, this final 32 seconds. Nova has 2 timeouts, so looks like they'll do it here.
And they are just going to take a knee, and that will do it for the first half of action. And Villanova does get the football to start the second half. Remember, they deferred to the second half, and JMU started the ball game with the possession, and they scored on the opening possession as well. Here's the Radke field goal, the final points of the half. The Dukes lead it by 7, 17-10. We'll be back with halftime in just a moment as Learfield IMG College and JMU Athletics provide you this coverage of James Madison University Dukes football leading at half. We'll be back at Bridgeforth in just a moment.
CAA is a crazy conference.
Yeah, crazy athletic conference. Exactly. That's what CAA stands for. I think you're right. Well, you were saying that Villanova was picked to finish 9th in the preseason poll, and here they are, at 6-0 in the league. The Dukes are right where fans expected them to be, and the prognosticators at 5-1, and Also tied for first, a half game back, if you would. All right, Boykin will backpedal all the way to the 1 yard line. He's going to try to take it up the sideline, and he is dropped shy of the 20. Nice coverage there for James Madison as Sam Kidd makes the tackle for James Madison. As we get situated for the second half, the Dukes leading this all-time series, a 16-11, has won the last 4. Won here on game day, college game day 2 years ago, 30-8. And in that game too, Dorian, you were talking about separation plays. That game really didn't get under JMU's control until the second half, the last time they played here. They try to rush the ball initially to start the second half. MJ Hampton makes the tackle of Barley, the ball carrier.
Yeah, I'm sure if I'm Villanova at halftime, Mark Ferrante is telling his boys, hey, we're in this game. We're down 7. Let's come out this drive and try to put some points on the board.
Back to pass is Daniel Smith behind his intended receiver. Again, that's Changa, that is. Changa Hodge. So a 3rd down and 7.
Now, conversely, if you're the Dukes, at halftime, I'm sure Coach Signetti is telling his team, we do not want them to keep on the momentum building coming up right out of the half. Look to make a big play right here on 3rd down.
Three receivers here to the wide side of the field, 2 to the short side. Straight back for Smith. He feels a little pressure. Here's the pass. Incomplete. MJ Hampton there defensively, and a flag is down, however. And this might be trouble for JMU where it's situated.
It might have looked like a pick play.
Dorian thinks he sees a little bit in the pattern there that it might be against Villanova and the Dukes.
Defense number 27. The
Now they're
10-yard
calling
penalty
a
results in a first
hold
down.
on Torres Carroll. A big play there as the Dukes were soon to get the football back, but the holding call will extend this opening drive for Villanova to start this second half. Opening drives of the 3rd quarter can set the tone for the rest of the ballgame. A little quick flare out, but the timing was off. Hayek, the intended receiver. Hayek out of MacArthur High School in Seaford, New York, 6'1", 195. I'm sorry, 6'1", 190 out of Wayne, New Jersey. 2nd down and 10. Taking the handoff to Hayek. Now the pass is incomplete again. Hayek, the intended receiver. The Dukes defensively was there. MJ Hampton coming up, his hand smarting after that one.
Yeah, Hampton does a good job of coverage. Hayek comes on the route, almost runs like a wheel pattern. Good heads up by Hampton, being able to break it up.
So 3rd down. Ball spotted at the 33-yard line of the Villanova Wildcats. Corey Heatherman getting in some messaging to his defensive unit. Man goes in motion, just a short couple of steps. Here's the pass. It's underneath and breaking the tackle, picking up the 1st down. Good spin move on the reception, as this time it was Barley out in the pattern. So the receiver, they put him, the running back, they put him in the pass pattern, and he does a nice job of breaking the tackle, which is right there at the yard to gain.
Duke's defense has a lot of faith in their front 7. However, that creates man coverage on the defensive side, and Hampton just has to make that play, has to make that tackle.
Hampton, who just came up a moment ago with that looking as if he had hurt his hand a bit, but that's football. You got to play tough even under those circumstances. Faking the hand. No, he does hand it off just a couple of yards. And that is Barley again, as he has required a lot of attention by the Dukes defensive group. Gains a couple of yards. Second down. Dimitri Holloway and Adam Smith leading the defensive charge for James Madison. They have gone 30 yards on 5 plays to open this second half. Smith airs it out, finds his tight end, and Summers picks up the first down before he is driven out of bounds on the far sideline. MJ Hampton.
Daniel Smith's having a lot of time. His offensive line is doing a good job protecting, and this tight end is just having quite a day, it seems.
First and 10 at the JMU 33-yard line. Smith got time, rolls out, throws, has a man. And again, it's Hayek with the reception and another first down. That quiets the James Madison family weekend crowd. But the marching Royal Dukes will try to add a little energy. As they move down to the 18. Well, Dorian, you're saying you need a big play to kind of turn the momentum, and right now JMU could use a big defensive play right here.
Yeah, Villanova is just exposing the holes in this defense, and they're able to move the ball effectively down the field. JMU's going to have to answer somehow.
That was a 15-yard gain. Hayek, here comes this blitz from the outside, and it's down by Daka. Actually came from the defensive end. He got there so fast, I thought he was blitzing off the edge. And that is a Food Lion sack.
Food Lion Feeds will donate 1,000 meals to feed our neighbors with every sack by the JMU defense this season. Keep cheering on sacks to help Food Lion give back.
Well, there's a big defensive play we were just calling for as well.
Great play by Daka. Long, athletic, very physical. Set the edge and got through.
Smith airs this one out, floats it out there, and it's caught again by Hayek. Tiptoes down the sideline. They're going to give him all the way inside the 5. As he managed to stay just inside, Adam Smith eventually drives him out of bounds. So after the sack by John Daka, the Wildcats respond by picking up the first down. There's that Food Lion sack to give back. First sack of the day for the Dukes just a play or two ago. Smith rolls out. Here's some pressure. And there is the tight end again. Another reception by the big tight end as rumbling in goes Todd Summers, the junior from Murraysville, Pennsylvania, out of Franklin Regional. And Villanova is within a point of James Madison. Kresge in to attempt the extra point. Again, this has been a shaky area for Villanova this year. Nick Torres hustles off. Here's the snap. And it is through there. So 10-18 to play in the third quarter. Villanova takes the opening possession of the second half and drives 81 yards, and they get it in on the touchdown pass. We're tied at 17. You're watching JMU football from Learfield IMG College. For over 34 years, the Better Water guys at Waterworks. They've been making Shenandoah Valley and Winchester water clean, clear, and pure. Well, who's got control of this contest? Not quite clean or pure, but the Villanova Wildcats, they have come back to tie it all up. There's Jawan Hamilton awaiting the upcoming kickoff. Goes back to Hamilton as he'll bobble it, and he'll bring it out. Not a good decision by Juwan Hamilton. He may have been confused on what to do with it there.
It's definitely not what you want to see on special teams.
Not at all. And watch here, Juwan lost it there, so it's a live ball now. And he didn't down it there, so he felt like he had to come out.
Yeah, normally Van Horst on that, you have that second back down there to give them a signal on whether to be down or to bring the ball out. And so, poor communication on there. That just makes this drive, puts a few more yards on there for the Dukes to have to gain the march down the field.
They will definitely have to get off their goal line here because Villanova opened up the third quarter with a good drive, and the Dukes will give it to Ajay Obase for a gain of 2 on the carry. And here's the scoring drive for the Villanova Wildcats as they do go 81 yards on 11 plays, 442. And the touchdown, Summers, 6 receptions for 50 yards. He had 6 receptions against William & Mary last week, which was his career high. And they're going to carry him all the way back. That's not a safety, as Villanova certainly trying to coax the officials to do so. Drew Wiley stops the running back just after a gain of actually may have got back to the original line of scrimmage.
Well, when you're backed in, behind your own 10-yard line, it really limits the playbook and what you can do. And so at this point, the Dukes are just trying to get the ball as far away from that end zone as possible.
And DiNucci's going to redirect Jay Obase to his right. Fakes the handoff. Ben's going to air it out. Caught by Stapleton. Did he make the catch? No, it skipped in. It skipped in, says the line judge. Darryl McDaniel was there defensively as he jumped up and gave his opinion right away. That's pretty close, but I couldn't really tell definitively on the play.
And I'm not sure they review those.
The ruling of the field of an incomplete pass is under further review.
They are going to review it, it appears.
Let's see.
So they'll take a look at it. We'll take a look at it. This should be one of those things where you should text in your decision. Text it to the officials. That would be different, wouldn't it?
Hey, you'd have to make sure it's one answer, either way with this crowd.
As DiNucci had a little wobble to it.
From that angle, it looks like Stapleton gets both hands underneath and is able to cradle the ball.
Question is, though, did he get his hands extended a little too far and then bring it back in? So he kind of scooped it up like a backhoe. Coach Signetti waiting for that, too. As I mentioned, the homecoming game coming up a couple of weeks, and the Purple and Gold Inter-Squad men's basketball game on October 26th at 12:30, Convocation Center, tipping off at that time. Admission is free to the event, and the public permitted to enter the Convocation Center through A entrance, which faces the combo lot. Food and drink not permitted in. And due to the football game,
after further review, the ruling on the field stands. Fourth down.
They do hold it down. Because of the football game, of course, there's no parking at the Convocation Center. They can park at the East Campus parking deck, which is a really nice deck, holds about 1,500 cars, and is a short walk. You can take the land bridge from East Campus over to the Convocation Center. So Harry O'Kelly, right on the edge of his end zone, will try to punt it from there. He's going to scramble out, gets a low trajectory. Fair catch is called for and received by McRigg, and so the special teams mistake by the Dukes sets up Villanova in tremendous field position. And that kind of goes without saying. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back. The Dukes defense going to have to buckle up here. As you're watching JMU football from Learfield, IMG College and JMU Athletics. If you're looking for high-quality periodontal treatment, look no further. Shingle Valley Implant Institute has some of the most highly trained professionals in the area. 25,076 in the house today at Bridgeport Stadium. The Dukes will need that 12th man advantage as Villanova taking over possession inside JMU territory, and they hand off to the running back. Barley is the ball carrier, and Rashad Robinson ends up making the tackle for James Madison.
You know, Kurt, with the success that Villanova had on that last drive, passing the ball specifically to Todd Summers, I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to the run to try to balance out this drive here a bit.
They're going to put a cluster of trips to the far side. The handoff, though, goes right up the middle, and nothing doing there that time as they go into the teeth of that JMU defense. Atari Wong, Mike Green, and Landon Word from linebacker. Just very steady as Landon Word. We don't say a lot about him, but he is extremely steady back in the linebacking core. 3rd down and 3. 3 out of 6 on 3rd down conversions. Here's the snap, and it is Daniel, and he has met whirled back. He may have picked it up, and there's a flag coming in. And the way that he was jerked back, we may have a face mask. Landon Word was there.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 7, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
And here we'll see it at the very end. You know, reaching out, that was Daka that actually got the face mask. Penalties, there have not been many, but they have been crucial.
Absolutely.
That's the 4th against the Dukes. 1 cost to personnel with D'Angelo Amos ejected in the 1st quarter. That's a big one, and here's the handoff, and that is to TD Ayodurije. And he gains a healthy chunk of yards on the 1st down play, 2nd down and 2. Dimitri Holloway and Wayne Davis combined to bring him down. But right now, Villanova has control of this contest.
Well, it's tough as a defensive coordinator. If I'm Corey Heatherman, you know, 1st half, we're able to stop the run, but they've had so much success passing the ball, the Dukes have to make adjustments.
Rolling out. This time it is dropped as Dimitri Holloway anticipated the tight end coming around, and that again is Summers. Holloway out of Newport News, Virginia, Heritage High School, playing in his 45th James Madison game today as the redshirt senior. And 50 tackles coming in. He may get credited for a pass breakup there. As Holloway on the coverage. So 3rd down again. But it's only 3 yards, very manageable. And this might be 4 down territory for Villanova. There's the pass, little slant. And it is the 1st down. Coming up with the reception is Zach Kirkston, a senior wide receiver from Haymarket, Virginia. Rashard Robinson brings him down. Villanova has its 17th 1st down against the Dukes. On the JMU 11. Handoff. Just a couple of yards for TD.
You know, Kurt, with Villanova spreading out the ball passing, the Dukes are going to have to put pressure on the quarterback, throw off his timing a little bit. Otherwise, he's having plenty of time, and if you're Daniel Smith, you're feeling pretty comfortable right now and confident.
Well, that was one of the keys I had to the game, you know, there early, is that if you give Smith time to operate and let him get comfortable, you know, if his offensive line does that, and their play calling helps him to do that, they're going to go for the end zone, and that is caught, brought in, as Hodge has his 2nd touchdown reception of the afternoon. And Villanova has its 1st lead of the day. Dukes led 7-0. It was tied 7-7. Dukes led 14-7, 14-10, 17-10. But Villanova has come up with 2 3rd quarter touchdowns to take the lead 24-17. Reschke with the extra point. Snap is down, and it's through for Villanova. So the Wildcats have yet to be stopped here in the second half of play. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back at Bridgeport Stadium. Learfield IMG College and JMU Athletics provide you this coverage of James Madison University Dukes football. Back in just a moment. 24-17, Villanova takes the lead. By the way, Lobster won the contest today, so if you're not here at Bridgeport Stadium, you're not going to take advantage of the fourth quarter Lobster. 24-17, Villanova with the advantage. They have scored on both possessions in the third quarter. The Dukes, they have not much to show for the third quarter because of a special teams mistake for the Dukes. Put them deep. Here is Jawan Hamilton. Yep, that is actually not Hamilton. Let's see who that was. Beg your pardon. We'll find out once the pile clears out. Take a look at the scoring drive summary for the Villanova Wildcats. 8 plays, only 46 yards, 314. It was Brandon Polk that returned it for JMU. All right, 1st and 10 for the Dukes at the 29. Time to go to work offensively for Ben DiNucci and company. Flares it out to this side. The ball is caught. That's Ravenel, and a flag comes down after the play. And they have pass interference against the Dukes is the call.
Offense number 17, 15-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Kurt Signetti getting an explanation.
Correction, that's
he took the headset off. I'm watching Coach Signetti at the 50-yard line. And he didn't, once he got the explanation, he didn't say anything. Didn't seem like he said much more after that. So that backs the Dukes up to the 14. And something, it looks like a little accounting needs to take place here. 1st and 25. As the officials get together.
correction. The penalty is forced half the distance to the goal. It'll be placed at the 14.5-yard line.
Okay, so it was half the distance to the goal, not 15. It's still first and a long way.
Right, and if you're JMU, you're behind the chains already starting out. If I'm that offensive line, we're taking this personal. We got to get a drive, build some momentum.
Villanova switching in players, and the fans disappointed. But JMU made some offensive changes too, so they do have the opportunity to do so. Here's a little swing pass, and that picks up most of the penalty yardage to Solomon, Van Horst, Daryl McDaniel. There's the replay.
Nice swing pass to Van Horst. Good job holding on to the ball after contact.
Second down and 12. DiNucci pumps, looks, throws, and he's got Kendall Dean. Watches it come in, and Dean picks up the first down. And flags come in from all over the neighborhood. Elijah Trent.
Should be a face mask.
Let's hear what the official.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 17. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
So that is, would you consider that the biggest penalty thus far today for the Wildcats? As that's an automatic first down as well. Awupetu, the Dukes did pick up the first down, but they tack on more yardage at the end of the play on the personal foul. Van Horst breaks it to the left side, and he is whirled forward as Ryan tackles him down. Penalties have been an issue for the Dukes here today.
Yeah, penalties will either kill drives, or they help the opposition.
DiNucci, as he gets wrestled down again. The fans again don't like that call as Ryan gets in and wraps DiNucci up.
So part of what we're seeing.
Oh, look at that. That is really close there. DiNucci wondering about it.
Well, Villanova's playing with the lead, and now they're able to get a little more bold with their blitzes, blitz packages. So you're going to see a lot more pressure from Villanova.
They jump free play maybe, or did JMU move as well? Let's see what they have here. I'd like to see that play again too. We're going to look at it while the officials. See what the official says.
Start. Offense number 31.
False start on JMU.
5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So they might have got it on the running back.
So the Dukes will back it up. 3rd down and 18. Well, adversity for James Madison. Can't let frustration set in at this point too. A lot of this football game left. Now the clock is ticking down. Under 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. DiNucci stands tall. Now he's going to get away. Got to hang on to that football for Ben. Rolls out, throws, got a man open, it is caught, not good enough for the 1st down. It comes about 2 yards shy for Riley Stapleton. Well, let's take that to the Pittsburgh schoolyards.
DiNucci in the backfield playing a little backyard football, able to slip through the cracks, make a great play, huge game.
4th down, Dukes are going for it, and it is knocked down. DiNucci's pass incomplete. And Villanova will take over in relatively good field position at its own 35-yard line. Man, what a turn of events. Just the events period here in the second half for JMU. All Villanova. Dukes are having a difficult time getting things going.
We spoke after the half, who's going to come out at halftime? When are you going to see that momentum swing? And right now, Villanova is throwing the first couple of punches. Let's see when JMU, are they going to strike back?
This may be the possession of the game right here, potentially. Of course, you can say that a lot, but the way this game is playing out, this one is key in my mind right now. The handoff goes to Ioduro GIA. And doesn't pick up much yardage on it. Kevin Ozanama making the tackle for the Dukes. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. Smith 19 of 28 passing, 263 yards, the 3 touchdowns with a rating of 182. Here comes the blitz, and the football is loose, picked up by a lineman. And he is tackled back at the 22, so they're calling that a fumble.
The rolling on the field is a fumble recovered by the offense.
So watch this. Pressure put in. Daka, that looked like the pass was maybe off and knocked down by Rashad Robinson. The Dukes, they'd be fine if this is how they're going to score it.
This may work in their favor. However, they're going to have to repeat, this same effort on the next play to hold up on the back end.
And I think
the ruling on the field of a fumble is under further review.
They're going to review the play. I thought that Villanova might do that.
Well, it helps you if you're Villanova. You don't want the fumble.
Right, absolutely, yes. They're looking for the incomplete pass and the potential going back up to that original line of scrimmage. Daka swims through. Well, that was actually Daka. I beg your pardon. I thought the ball had got loose. So whether he was the motion.
I think the question is going to be, did the ball come out before it was batted down? And if it was batted down first, I think that might be a fumble.
Well, there is Robinson. Okay, so he does get a hand on it, but whether it was released out of his hand also is another question. I don't know if they'll get a chance to potentially.
And is it clear and obvious? You know, it's
yes,
tough to tell from that.
I don't think it is that clear on that particular angle. But we're not wearing the white hat today. Again, the review taking place up here in the press box. JMU field hockey won yesterday, beat Drexel 1-0. That was Coach Christy Morgan's 200th career victory. 195 of those with the Dukes. This is her 15th season. It was pretty timely. Her birthday's tomorrow. So
nice birthday present.
She'd like to get another one, though, as the Dukes host Hofstra tomorrow. You can watch that on Madison tomorrow afternoon, beginning at noon. Yours truly and Hannah Hall with the call from the JMU Field Hockey Complex. Also on Madison this week, next Thursday, it's JMU women's soccer against the Towson Tigers.
After further ado,
Dukes at the Cougars tomorrow.
Is an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd down and 10 at the 34-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 1 minute 46 seconds.
Enough evidence to say that it was an incomplete pass, that his motion was going forward. So that instead of a 3rd and about 18 or more, roughly saying, we're at 3rd and 10. The handoff, and he's got a lane, and he is just right there at the sticks. I'm not sure about this one. We'll have to wait and see if they mark it. It looks like it's shy. Mike Cobbs eventually tackled him. The Dukes, a little confusion here. As Villanova will go for it on a 4th and 1. And the Dukes are going to need to burn a timeout.
James
That
Madison.
is their first timeout.
This will be a 30-second timeout
of the half. A 30-second timeout. Penalties have been an issue here for the Dukes today, and some of them have been favorable, some of them not so. And like there's one that certainly has been costly to the Dukes. You lose the experience. Special teams play, a face mask. Looked like it was going to be a completed pass, but pass interference there. That's a face mask actually on Villanova, so one of the few that have been in James Madison's favor today.
Yeah, and judging by the look on Coach Signetti's face, he has not been happy with how some of these calls have gone. You know, he feels like they left a few out there.
4th down and 1. See if they're going hard count. Now they'll try to sneak it through. But the Dukes, they jump right on it. And did the ball come free as well? Line judge is walking up. Dukes say they have the football. And they must have it. Yep, JMU coming out of the bottom of the pile. Jalen Green has it. But the officials, they have not indicated yet anything, folks. So let's hold on here. Although it looks like if the ball is right there, maybe JMU's ball anyway on a change of downs. It's going to be very close. Official time, they're going to come out and measure this.
Huge call.
Yes, if the Dukes defense stands here on this situation, a short field would result, and they could certainly use it. And it is, oh wow, short field. The Dukes will take over on a change of downs as many of the Wildcats come in to inspect the call. That too is where the officials spot the ball.
Absolutely.
Game of interest.
If you're JMU, you want to control your destiny. You don't want to have it fall into the hands of the referees. And so this offense is going to have to come out here and take advantage of this great field position.
All right, so Mac Patrick will bring out the offensive lineman for the Dukes. He'll go over the football to snap it back to Ben DiNucci, who has Perciaje Obase in the backfield. The Dukes rushing the football today a mere 55 yards after.
Villanova is calling a timeout to challenge the spot.
And
the play is under
now
further review.
they're going to challenge the first down. That's interesting.
At this point, what do you got to lose if you're Villanova?
I guess so. But what are you challenging? Where the ball was actually spotted? I can't see that the officials are going to say in that pile. What is? I tell you what. With all these cameras, how are they going to find in that quagmire of where the ball was spotted?
I don't know. Maybe they're trying to get into the psyche of this team, of this JMU team, even more. But I'd have to agree with you. I don't know how they could decipher, the spot of the ball.
And that was a scrum.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just bodies piling up. Now, also, it was interesting because it looked like they were trying to potentially draw the Dukes off sides.
Right.
And then a quick snap. Let's see.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, James Madison. Villanova is charged with a timeout, and Villanova has no more replay challenges.
So Villanova charged with a timeout with that, which gives them 2 to work with for the remainder of regulation. So the Dukes will get good field position, as we spoke of just a moment ago. So Mac Patrick does go over center. Taking the handoff, Oje Obase, they'll flare it out. This is Stapleton. And Dillon rumbles to the 40, so they gain about 3.5, call it 4 yards on the play. Owopetu brings him down. Second down and 6 at the Villanova 40. 48 seconds to go in this quarter. Handoff. Patience by Perciaje Obase, but he doesn't come up with much more after that. He does pick up a couple of yards as Owen Thomas out of Lansdale, Pennsylvania.
Villanova has really shown an ability to almost neutralize this running attack by the Dukes. This is uncharted territory for them at this point in the season.
Yeah, he usually charted a lot by this stage of a ball game, but haven't done so today. Has this running game for JMU. Polk comes in motion. DiNucci stands tall, throws. No flags as it's broken up. And it's broken up. Owopetu. You make the call, watching at home. 4th down, Dukes. And they feel like they need to go for it as they have not stopped. Well, just did stop Villanova, of course, just a few moments ago.
See if DiNucci makes a play with his legs on this one.
He's going to try, but he is tackled, and the Dukes will turn it over on downs. Jaquan Amos eventually bringing down DiNucci. 24-17. That's the end of the 3rd quarter of play. Villanova, the number 5 team in the country, leading number 2 JMU back with the 4th quarter. You're watching JMU football from Learfield, IMG College. We go to the fourth quarter. JMU shut out in the third quarter play. Villanova put up a couple of touchdowns on the first and second possessions that Villanova owned. We've had a couple of change of possessions in midfield area because of a change of downs. And Villanova has just done so. They'll start it, and here comes the ball is loose, and it looks like JMU may have recovered. They have. The Dukes have it at the 39-yard line of Villanova. John Daka got there first. And the signal does come from the official. Daka got there. Looked like Rashad Robinson jumped on it.
Huge play by this defense. Now the offense has to come back out and answer. The defense the last two drives have stepped up to the plate. Now it's time for the offense to take this ball downfield and answer.
So the Dukes do take over at the 39. And Dorian, you were saying at halftime you're looking for plays to make separation while the Dukes get a play maybe to get even.
Absolutely.
But again, you've got to punch it in here.
This team needs to get back to their bread and butter. Run the football. Got to open it up for the pass.
And something going on. Ben DiNucci was looking up at the play clock, which is not running right now. And the Dukes, it looks like they brought in Latrell Palmer. Is that Latrell in the backfield? It is. So the true freshman. This is his fourth game as a Duke, so they're putting him in now. He's kind of a downhill runner. And there he goes. Look at Latrell Palmer, bounces out to the outside. Look at that stop and go, and he picks up the first down.
Latrell Palmer very patient on this run. He waits for his blocks to build, to set up, cuts it backside, and just tries to run through his defender.
He is a downhill runner, but he's got that jump cutting ability also. Again, a true freshman. Hands it to him again. And this time he tries to do a similar maneuver, and there's his strength to get a yard out of it.
And so at this point, Villanova's throwing their entire defensive playbook at JMU. They're up, so they can take more risk with the defense. They can blitz more. Let's see if the Dukes can expose some of these blitzes.
Second down and 9 for the Dukes. Palmer set to the right side. Polk comes closer to the line. Taking the handoff. Now he's going to throw it. Wide open is Polk. Polk streaking to the end zone. Touchdown, James Madison University. Streamers fly, and the Dukes are within a point of tying this one up.
Good play design. DiNucci scrambles, finds a wide open man. Kurt, you or myself could have scored on that one.
I don't know if I'd have the speed. By the time I got the ball, the defense would have collapsed in on me, but maybe you could have done so. But still, Polk with a big play for the Dukes. And they take advantage of the turnover. Daka knocks it free. Robinson recovers. DiNucci with another touchdown pass. This time it's to Polk. Radke adds the extra point. We are tied at 24 all. Back with more JMU football from Learfield, IMG College, and JMU Athletics as we return to Bridgeport Stadium in just a couple of moments. 3-play, 39-yard, 103. Polk, the receiver, off the arm of DiNucci. Wise will kick it off for James Madison. We are tied at 24 in this top 5 showdown. And the return for Boykin, tries to take it up the middle. He is shy of the 30-yard line. Well, Dukes came up with a big turnover last possession. And here's some of the craziness. There was the Villanova attempt at the fourth down, and the Dukes held firm. And there's the fumble. And then DiNucci connects Rolls out, finds Polk, and he races into the end zone. First and 10, Villanova at its own 29-yard line. Comes a blitz off the corner. The pass is caught going up the sideline and then tackled at the JMU 41. Adam Smith brings him down, but not before a big chunk of yardage is gained. Gerkston with another big play. At the 41. This time, I think the Dukes may have made some contact offsides.
Offside. Defense number 7. 5-yard penalty.
John Daka called for the offsides infraction. 1st and 5. Opens up a few more pages of the playbook for Villanova.
Yeah, you give up a big chunk play on the last one and then, 5-yard penalty. This defense has been pretty stout the last 2 drives, but this good a field position, they're already in field goal range.
Smith going down the sideline, and that is incomplete. He was out of bounds. Does make the catch, does Hodge.
Well, Rashad Robinson does a great job of using the sideline as an extra defender, and it forces, Chonga out. Great coverage.
He stepped right on the sideline. So 2nd down and 5. But again, that was the type of play they could afford because they're now looking at a 2nd and 5.
Right. You can take big shots on 1st and 5,
And Robinson probably knew that also. Holding to the outside, and Daka gets to him. Landon Word, he sniffed it out as well. You could see Landon in pursuit early on the play.
The great read by Landon Word. Good job of this defense just swarming to the ball. Coach Signetti put a lot of emphasis on that this week. He wants them to have the swarm the ball mentality. Now we set up for a crucial 3rd down.
Word had a sack last week against the Seawolves. He's going to step up a little bit. Son of Barry Word, played at the Virginia Cavaliers and in the NFL. 3rd down and 4. Snap, they hand off right up the middle as they zone it. And a 1st down for Villanova. Good play call as MJ Hampton does come up and make the tackle. Barlee picking up the 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 25. 12 minutes to go in this ball game. Clock continues to roll. Handoff again. It's Barlee tiptoes his way through, and the Dukes finally jump all over him. But again, another good 1st down, 2nd down and 6. What's at stake here today? Well, 1st place in the Colonial Athletic Association. Villanova, JMU, and New Hampshire, as well as Delaware, all undefeated, although the Blue Hens a couple games behind in the win column. Villanova trying to stay unbeaten. The Dukes trying to keep their win streak at 6 and snap Villanova's at 6. Winner of this game probably has a good inside track, quite obviously, to the CA, and that's intercepted! Picked off MJ Hampton. Hampton to the 50. Turns it inside. He's at the 40. Gets a good block. Can he outrace the rest of them? All the way to the end zone. Touchdown on the interception return. MJ Hampton. The Dukes take the lead. There's your big play, Dorian Brooks.
Crucial play. What you're going to see when we get to the replay, JMU is going to blitz off of the play side edge. Daniel Smith does a good job of reading it. However, he does not anticipate MJ Hampton making a great play, breaking on the ball. Huge play for this defense.
He returns it all the way for the score. We'll give you the official distance on it in just a moment. after Ethan Ratke tacks on the extra point. And it is through there. The Dukes 31-24. As a defense that has given up a lot today gives a little back. It may be a big little, if you know what I mean. You're watching JMU football from Learfield, IMG College. MJ Hampton with his first career interception. It's a memorable one. Picks it off, and he races it in for the score. 83 yards. Gets a nice block from Dimitri Holloway on the way. Where's Jimmy Marlin when you need him? He usually escorted guys into the end zone on plays like that. Or he was taking them himself, but I think he's playing on Sundays these days.
Gotta get you there.
Boykin back to the 6, and he is hit, but he breaks free, picks up an additional 10, 11 yards after the initial contact. Azanama gets in, and we have a JMU player down right in front of the JMU bench area. Already lost Willie Drew earlier. I don't know that I've seen him come back in. And we were talking during the commercial, Dorian said, you know, MJ wouldn't even be out there. Well, he could be, but one of the reasons he's getting all the reps is because D'Angelo Amos was ejected in the game.
And that's right. That's a way to step up, you know. Amos is probably in the locker room watching the game. He's excited, you know. MJ stepped up to the plate.
First and 10 for the Wildcats at their own 31-yard line with 10:41 to play. Smith goes back, throws this one, and he misses his target.
Should have gotten an offensive pass interference.
Robinson defending on the corner. He did have Summers underneath again, but he elected to go over the top.
You know, the good thing about, you know, big plays like that, pick sixes, you can feel the atmosphere has changed here, you know, at Bridgeport Stadium. The crowd's involved, everyone's pumped up.
Sudden change momentum. Smith fires. It is caught by Hodge, and he picks up the first down as he makes the reception in front of Rashad Robinson. And it's a first down for the Wildcats. Wildcats have done an interesting blend. They've gone for bigger chunks of yards when they need it or when they can afford to, and they've gone for just enough when they need it. Well, the Dukes need another big defensive play, leading it by 31-24. Ten minutes to play. Swinging it out. That is too tall. That's not an easy pass.
No.
It's not an easy pass to send, and it's not an easy pass to catch. As Kirkston, the intended receiver.
Well, not only that, you know, you have a defensive back bearing down on you, and you got to make a quick throw. So it's tough around the board. But Villanova's lining up in this two tight end personnel, which gives them options to either run the ball or pass it. But right now, they're forcing themselves into passing situations.
Second down and 10. From the 44, faking the handoff, play action, going deep. He's got a man deep. It is caught. Another reception by Kirkston. Down to the 12-yard line of JMU.
Another benefit to bringing those two tight ends in, it allows for extra blockers. You know, the defense, they're not able to put pressure on the quarterback. Good throw, good catch. Beat the one-on-one coverage.
They can pick up the first down inside the 2. First and 10 at the 12. Handoff, and he is met right as he gets to the line of scrimmage, as Farley is the carrier, but John Daka says, see my 7, and I'll raise you 7.
Let's see if the Duke's defense can take advantage of this shortened field and use that end zone as an extra defender against the Wildcats offense.
And Villanova, Kirkston pass 44 yards. Again, they're a big chunk offense. Smith rolling out, fakes, looks down, and he is going to throw it incomplete as he was checking down receiver after receiver, intended for Hodge. And the last one in the option. He is just mobile enough. But then again, the way that they're setting up, like you said, the tight end formations, he's got that wall to rumble behind a bit.
Absolutely.
Third down. And 9. Trips to the near side, which is the open side of the field. Barley, here comes the blitz. Barley picks it up. Ball was into the air and intercepted once again. No, incomplete as it falls to the turf. The Dukes were just a whisker away as Wayne Davis was there. Hampton was also there.
And I tell you, they're going to want this one back. That would have made it quite the difference. But either way, good pass breakup.
Wayne Davis was there to break it up. Adam Smith also there. So the field goal try. This one from 29 yards out. Here's the snap. The kick. And it's no good. Wide to the left. Wide to the left. And JMU maintains the touchdown advantage. 31-24.
And I talked to Coach Signetti this week. You know, we talk about keys to the game, and one of his heavy emphasis was on winning special teams. You know, they put a lot of emphasis in it. It's very important, and you've seen it pay dividends today.
Let's take a look at the field goal try again by Drew Kresge, and it is well to the left.
You also got to give a little credit to the crowd.
The crowd has been in it. The crowd has. I will probably. I don't have any way to really gauge it, but this might be the noisiest family weekend crowd I can remember in. Well, it is the noisiest I can remember in quite some time. And here is Latrell Palmer again, and he's eventually out of bounds. Gives the Duke some fresh legs here as Waxter eventually chases him out. Again, out of Good Counsel, the Dukes get some pretty good players out of Good Counsel High School. Palmer, 5'11", 228 pounds, from Boyds, Maryland. Sets up second down and 2. This could be a statement drive for JMU. Palmer, he picks up the first down.
Palmer, again, just a very patient runner. You know, this offensive line is doing a good job of blocking. You see the catch by Stapleton.
I got some of the touchdowns for the Dukes here. Stapleton. This is the one to Polk. That's his third touchdown pass. And then the pick six. And that eventually gone to the house from 83 yards out. Palmer again. He misses. Makes the tackle miss, and he's up to the 50, to the 40, to the 30, on his way to the house, to the 10, cuts it back, touchdown, Latrell Palmer. Fresh legs. People will remember Latrell Palmer after that run.
This kid is playing out of his mind. He breaks 3 tackles, stays up, good balance. And I'll tell you what, Kurt, that rushing average just has grown exponentially.
Yeah, with that, the Dukes went into that play with only 73 yards on the ground. They come out of that play with 142 rushing yards, which is actually subpar. Hang on, we get the extra point. It is good. Well, the Dukes get a big play. Finally, a couple of big plays, one on defense, one on offense. And Latrell Palmer takes it to the house here at Bridgeport Stadium. Back with more JMU football from Learfield IMG College and JMU Athletics. Welcome back, everyone. The Dukes Lightning has struck twice here, once on defense, once on offense. 38-24, James Madison. Things were looking kind of bleak there in the third quarter, which was dominated by Villanova. But the Dukes, they have come up with two big plays. And that ball bounced into the end zone. It was about a shade away from being out of bounds there at the 1. So the Dukes get a fortunate break there. All right, let's take a look at the scoring drive summary. I was telling a lot of folks, wait till you see Latrell Palmer, and it is a 3-play, 80-yard drive and a 69-yard run for Palmer. So Palmer's first, well, his touchdown today, I should say, and that's his third of the year. Watch this. Breaks the tackle, breaks another, and then he is off to the races.
How many running backs do they have on this roster? It's like each week somebody else is stepping up. Hamilton's carrying. It's crazy.
And look at the emotional reaction here. Here's a pass. Nice catch on the sideline. Now there's 7:23 to go. If you're a JMU fan, you feel a little better, but you can't feel totally comfortable. And I'm sure that's what Coach Signetti and his staff is saying right now, too.
That's right. There's still a lot of time left on this clock. However, with the defense, you can get a little more creative. You know, bring more pressure, receive.
First down rolling out. Here's the pass, and it's dropped this time. Wayne Davis. You know, I remember when Mickey Matthews was coaching here, and talk about receivers. If you're a physical team, receivers catches that they make early in the game, they don't necessarily make late in a game.
Yeah.
Because just get beat up a little bit.
Yeah, it gets beat up. It starts to get into your psyche. You know, all these things are happening at the same time. You know, the pressure's building. You're down 2 scores. If you're Villanova, someone's going to have to step up, or this thing's going to stretch out even more.
Second down and 10. Smith, quick fire, and that is caught. Out there on the flank, it's Barley this time. They use Barley all over the place. MJ Hampton making the tackle, third down. For the Dukes visitors outside of Philadelphia, Villanova, Pennsylvania. Third and 3. 5 out of 10 on third down. Smith, plenty of time, lofts it up. He's got a man that is nearly picked off as the receiver became defensive back. And that was Hampton, nearly with his second pick. But he's coming up a little gimpy.
That's a big play by Hampton. You know, Daniel Smith puts this ball in the air, has a lot of air time. Hampton having a day, stepping up, you know, after Amos had to go out.
All right, here's a 4th and 3. Press coverage.
Watch out for the tight end.
Good point. And that is, it might be intercepted. Let's see. It is interception by the Dukes again, jumping the route. It was Rashad Robinson, the All-American. Coming up with it, though, the possession was Hodge. He said he had it, but we saw the signal that it was JMU's football.
Robinson does a good job. He reads the quarterback's eyes. Big players make big plays in big moments.
Second pick of the season for Rashad, if it stands, 12th of his career, moving him into a tie for 6th place, and it does stand. No question, they will not review it. 6:24 to go, and here's Palmer again, breaking to the outside. He gets stood up, hit pretty good there. Now, he is a member of the stable of running backs.
We've seen this backfield just, you know, everyone's averaging 3 to 5, 6 yards a carry, and here comes this freshman. Very patient runner. I really like his style. He lets his line develop, you know, lets the plays develop. Does a good job of hitting the goal hole.
And he's not even on this list that we have here for you today.
It's nuts.
He was in the back pad, I guess. But he is certainly on the forefront here in the fourth quarter. This time DiNucci will keep it. He's going to get to the outside, and a flag comes down, likely a hold out there, I would guess.
Holding. Offense number 19. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
And they call the hold on Ravenel. Aupetu was there, eventually came down with the tackle. Give him some credit of that. That's Jake Brown that you see for the Dukes. Dukes have used 7 receivers in today's matchup. 5 for Stapleton, 5 catches. Polk with 4. Van Horst with 3. Brown with 3. Dylan Stapleton 3. Kendall Dean and Jawan Hamilton have 1 apiece. Percy Obase comes in. Hamilton will come out. He'll get a pat on the back as he comes to the sideline. Percy tries to cut it back up against the grain, and he is met as he approaches the line of scrimmage. The Dukes will lose 1 there.
The
5 minutes to go.
The guard, Jahee Jackson, got a little tripped up in his pull, which led to the tackle.
So third down. Under 5 minutes to go. The interception, if nothing else, helps to chew up a bit of the possession and the time here in the fourth quarter. 2 receivers here to the near side, 1 to the top with Palmer in the backfield. DiNucci hands it to Palmer as he sidesteps his way through. Only gains 3 on the play. Wiley makes the tackle, and it's 4th down and 11. DiNucci's coming over here to the sideline.
You know, this clock continues to tick. You know, it's running time off the clock. You want to move the ball, but either way, making it harder for this Wildcat team to get back in it.
So they're going to let it tick on down, chew up some of the clock.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Take the delay of game call. And that just gives Harry O'Kelly 5 more yards to work with. That's nothing really lost there. Harry O'Kelly back to punt for James Madison. So Dukes did pick up a first down. They 4 plays and a loss of 6 yards on it ultimately. But Harry will punt it. Fair catch is called for, as McGrigg secures it. That 73-yard or 83-yard interception return, by the way, is the 4th longest in JMU history. Jimmy Moreland and Tony Lizotte. Tony just inducted in the JMU Athletics Hall of Fame. They had from the end zone to end zone, and then Tony Jordan had a 94-yard return against William and Mary. That was in 1996. So you were 9 years old then. And then Rashad Robinson had one 82 yards. So MJ Hampton makes the top 10 on that return yardage.
Hey, I played with Tony Lizotte, though.
Yes, you did, didn't you? He played a lot, did Lizotte. All right, Villanova really got things going in the second quarter in particular, and the big combination has been Changa Hodge. Here's your tight end, which they've gone away from Summers a bit here in this fourth quarter.
Which is strange to me. You know, he was your top target, you know, beating man coverage. I'm not sure why they wouldn't.
And there's the sack. It's Daka again, drags him down.
Food Lion Feeds would donate 1,000 meals to feed our neighbors with every sack by the JMU defense this season. keep cheering on the sacks to help Food Lion give back.
Another sack for the Dukes here today, and that sets them behind the chains. 3rd down and 11. 2:49. Villanova has 2 timeouts to work with. Here's the pass, and that is caught. It was Kirkston again, the reception. That sets up a 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Villanova over 400 yards of total offense. The Dukes 367, which is well below their average. The Dukes over the last 5 games between 507 as the ball is free and 547. So a little difference here for the Dukes, but you got to win them in a variety of ways.
Absolutely. You know, this team, the philosophy from the coach has been don't be overly affected by successful failure. You know, don't get never too high, never too low. And it was looking pretty low for the Dukes early on. Now they seem to turn things around.
2nd down and 10. And another sack this time. Rondale Carter drops in. There's another one for Food Lion.
It's got to feel good when you can get that type of pressure with just three rushers.
Third down. Smith fires. That's overshot, and that's intercepted for the Dukes. They say it's a catch. Let's take a look here as Adam Smith comes up with it. I've not seen the signal yet, though.
The ruling on the field is an interception.
They say it's an interception. So Adam Smith as the Dukes. It's been a pickoff party here in the 4th quarter for JMU. 2nd of the season for Smith, 5th of his career.
The ruling on the field of an interception is under further review.
They may review it.
Well, at this point in the game, you know, Villanova has to take shots. And so they know they got a little bit of time left, and they need to get back in the game quick, fast, in a hurry. Unfortunately, it's an advantage to the defense because now they could sit back in coverage. They can rush 3. They came up with a sack, and now a turnover.
I was talking about the interceptions, and this conversation has gone on for years. Mike Masella was playing defense on a point after. They roll out, he intercepts it, takes it back to the house, but on a play like that, you do not get credited for an interception return. Yes, at that particular time. So he did return it 100 yards. He says it's 103, but in college you don't count. It's from end zone to end zone, 100 yards. So Mike, I'm going to give you a little credit there so the kids stop screaming at the TV, okay?
I love the interaction.
Yeah. There you go. Social media at its finest. Here's the review of what we saw.
After further review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. 1st down,
Wow.
James Madison from the 43.
He held it up against his thigh. It went to his backside, and he still managed to maintain it.
Yeah, the ball was moving. It was bobbling around, but at no point did it touch the turf. And so, hey, we'll take interceptions any way they come.
So 1:29, and the Dukes, they will kill the clock.
Second charge timeout, Villanova. This will be a 30-second timeout.
All right, so interception, the pick party here in the 4th. There's the big one that turned the tide in this contest for the Dukes. MJ Hampton. There's another that really stems any comeback attempt for Villanova. And the sack. You know, sometimes the way games play out too, when you get to the fourth quarter, I mean, you played in the NFL, you know how it was when Coach Matthews was here. You look at which team is going to rise up and be the strong team when it gets to crunch time, both mentally and physically. Even though you've had your miscues along the way, you still got to play through that fourth quarter.
Absolutely.
And this is Percy Obase as he extends the play quite a bit and keeps it in bounds.
Yeah, to go along with what you were saying, that's why I felt it was always very important that back when I did play,
Third
Chalice
timeout.
McMillan
Villanova
would always come to our,
30-second timeout.
our meetings, talk to us about mental toughness, because in crucial moments, someone's going to have to step up. Someone's going to have to make a play. And in this game, yeah, you make a few, turnovers, costly mistakes, but staying resilient, stepping up, that's really what it's all about.
38-24. This is, Dorian, you and I talked before the game what we kind of thought this score would be. You said, I don't see it really getting into the 40s, but I do see it get pumped up there a little bit. But the way this came about was not really how you may have anticipated it either.
No, we would have thought the way it started off, it might be a low-scoring defensive game, but, both teams, Villanova's huge chunk yards in the pass game, and, Duke's getting back into form with running the ball late in this game.
And an emerging star in Latrell Palmer, he takes the handoff this time again. Look at him taking a couple of Villanova Wildcats for a ride and picks up the first down.
And that should run out the clock.
That should do it. JMU fans, family weekend. Sometimes you're at the dinner table and you have a little argument with family members, but then at the end, if everything turns out good, everybody's hugging again, and that's going to be the case, I think, here at JMU.
Yeah, we had a bunch of dark, ominous clouds, and now the sun has come out, Dinner at O'Neill's.
There you go. We'll be at O'Neill's on Monday at noon for the weekly Fan and Press Luncheon. You can watch that on JMU Sports Facebook Live at noon, as we'll hear from the Duke's head coach, Curt Cignetti. Of course, he also has his post-game press conference on Facebook Live here this afternoon, too. And JMU will run its record to 6-1, go to 3-0 in the Colonial. Villanova sees its 6-game winning streak come to a halt and fall to 3-1 in the Colonial. MJ Hampton got a lot of snaps today, and he comes up with, we'll see how this play will stand on a pivot throughout the course of this season. JMU surviving last weekend in overtime and getting some big plays here in the fourth quarter to win this weekend. What that means